Round 3, 1-1. People keep playing flyers and killing my zombies. It's tough. It's tough out there. So we have a 1-lander on the play. We do have Dread Wanderer, Fatal Push. Also Grasp and Relentless Dead if we get there. The Mastery is effectively a mulligan. And the Colossus isn't great. So I don't know. I'm inclined to mulligan this, although I do think it's close because of how much early game we have. I don't know. What am I looking for exactly? It's always Crypt Breaker. That's the answer. It's always Crypt Breaker. But like, you definitely mulligan into like a bunch of 3s and 5s. So I don't know. Sort of tempted to keep. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it for science. Get our beatdowns on. There's Zombie Jackal. Wandering Fumarole. What is this? Alright, we hit immediately. So that's cool. Although, if our opponent's playing blue-red control, we got some dead ones. Mostly dead ones. Grasp is actually pretty good against them. Don't spray my dead. Don't do it. Okay, cool. Oh, more dead cards. If you spray my dead, I will push it. That is just what will happen. Why can't I attack you? Let me attack you, please. Let's keep playing the game. Cycle sensor. Cool. Oh, illumination. Whatever. Same deal. Same deal. I will trade. Trade your spray for my push. So we've been pretty fortunate. We've hit most of our land drops here. Get to play around that sweet, sweet sensor. How's my opponent at 12 already? Doesn't make any sense. More land drops. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Can never beat a sweeper in my life. So we're in there. This is their Glimmer turn, so gotta present them with something that they have to react to. Otherwise, you know, they just get to sculpt their hand and find their answers and whatnot. And every turn they don't get to Glimmer means another turn of beatdowns. Alright, you finally sprayed my grizzly bear. Congratulations. Leading on Salvation here just because it's the lower threat, I guess. Like, Mastery leaving the Anthem behind is pretty powerful, so I definitely don't want to lead on that. I'd much rather just build a board state. They have a Suns too? It's pretty good. Pretty good. Boom. How are you trying to pay costs with 0 mana? What are you doing over there? Oops, cycle all your sensors. So it looks like they're playing Peter Viren's list from the Pro Tour. He had a bunch of illuminations. So they generally have to side out negate against you, so I think Mastery actually gets a little bit better. Censor is still a thing that you definitely have to worry about. I don't really like Transgress, just because they have a lot of different things that you care about. All their cards are mostly kind of the same, and they also generally side in things like Thing in the Ice or Dragon Master Outcast, which Transgress doesn't hit. So you can try and play this game where you're like fighting all their big stuff, meanwhile they're getting you with little stuff. So I need to keep in some removal, which is what the Grasps are for. Grasp also will generally kill a Gear Hulk on a block, so it's still pretty good. You could make a case for boarding out like some Lords or some Mimics. They mostly just get caught up in sweepers. And if I wanted like another Liliana, I could see doing that. I think I'll just cut a Mastery on the draw. Though I guess I could also look up Peter's sideboard and see what he had for Zombones. So a bunch of 3s and 2s. This is not great, but it's keepable. You really want a 1-drop to get under their counter magic, especially on the draw, but whatever. I started like a minute down on time. Now I'm 2 minutes up. Let's go. Yep, there it is. The Thing in the Ice. We drew a Grasp because we're very lucky. At some point, I'm going to have to grasp this Thing in the Ice. I'm not sure when, though. I feel like this is the turn where I'm supposed to play Diregraph Colossus. It's possible if he had a Magma Spray, he would have used it there and kept the Lightning. Also, if he would have had a counterspell, may have just held that open. So I don't know. Maybe they do just have Spray, and this is going to live through Spray, and they don't have another Lightning. And then that'd be great. Don't add red. Crap. Alternative is they have 2 Harness Lightnings, and Colossus down. Did you keep in negate or no? Alright. Not the best card to play when they have 4 mana, because it's not really a threat. But yeah, if they want to censor this, I'm all about it. Now what? Now what? Kind of do want to have one of these deads when I have mana open, but I think I'd rather just play 2 spells this turn. Especially if they're trading with Essence Scatters, that's great. Wonder if they have any counter spells left. Colossus might be the last thing that I want to play. I don't know. But I do have Mastery potentially next turn. So yeah, I think I'm just going to lead with this. It's like high reward if it actually sticks. 7/7. They can't beat that in a million years. Yeah, you got to disallow this if you have it. Any more sensors left? Think I did pretty well this game sequencing my spells. Just throwing that out there. Well, now they have Gear Hulk mana and we're all out of grasps. They are playing Thing instead. 2 things. Land would be kind of neat. Okay. In there. Beating all sweepers. No. No. Oh well. At least our zombies are 4/4s. They're hellbent. Opponent's like on a pretty quick clock. And if they just brick once, if they just draw like a land here. Nope, that's not a land. That is one of the best possibles. I think I'm just supposed to grasp one of these. Maybe this is worse than just attacking with all, because they're likely going to block here, and if they want to block one of the 4/4s, I don't really care, but it's kind of all the same. Don't play 2 spells. No. Probably board into Dark Salvations this game. Maybe that's worse than never to return, actually. It's possible with them having so much removal that Dark Salvation will not really be able to tag a thing in the ice anyway. Feeling that divination was good. If you would have just drawn a land there. Here comes Fumarole. Could have maybe drawn Liliana's Mastery there, but... So if they're trying to thing in the ice, mean Liliana's less good. Ooh, Scrappy Scrounger would be hella good. Well, I just caught a Lord or what? What's the deal? Ah, 61. It's not what I wanted. Guess I'll shave a Mastery. Alright, game 3. And our hand is okay. A lot of 3s, as always. Opponent's on 6, so that's helpful. First few turns are usually just about jockeying for board position and a little bit of attrition, so... This probably gets sprayed. Not really in the interest of, like, baiting things against them, like trying to play Relentless Dead, or trying to wait to play Relentless Dead until I have a bunch of mana open, because it's usually not going to work out. I'd rather just play my best spell on curve, because if it does stick, it just gives them a lot of problems. But also, I have Dead into Colossus plus 1-drop, so... I think it is generally pretty good to try and force them to have, like, all these answers. So we'll just jam Lord, maybe get this censored, and then play land, Diregraph. That might resolve, and then we can play Dread Wanderer also. Just end up with an army. And I think I'm fine with not playing Wanderer because I want the Colossus trigger. And obviously if, like, this just gets countered too, then it's kind of a feel bad, but... I think it's worth it to get the extra 2/2. Yeah, Thing in the Ice is in there. Should I name Construct on this Mimic or what? No. It is almost always zombie. So now we have a big board. Could lose the Sweltering Suns. Not really in the market for holding back when my opponent has a Thing in the Ice. Land, Never, or Grasp. So now we get to hit our opponent for 9. They can probably transform Thing in the Ice next turn, but then I get to replay some stuff. So it's not the worst, but I don't really like my spot here. If they don't get to transform Thing, they are just dead, so there's that. Yeah, killing my Mimic and then transforming Thing is a big deal. Beats. That ain't bad. Is it enough, though? It is interesting that the game 1 is about grinding, and you would kill to have like a Scrap Heap Scrounger in your deck in game 1, and then post board, like if they're all in on Thing in the Ice, then the Scrap Heaps don't really do a whole lot. And it's more so just about tempo, and it's like you're actually making your deck worse kind of by siding out all these removal spells. So I could double block. I think that might be my best bet. I don't know. I feel like they're just going to Gear Hulk me and I'm kind of screwed no matter what. I don't think there's anything I can really draw, though. One that's dead certainly helps. Wish I had cheap things in my graveyard to get back, though. Huh. This is kind of brutal. Can't really attack with both into his Gear Hulk. Just to resolve Relentless Dead. So I have to do this, and then he can just like Gear Hulk scatter it. So we are going to continue to play on, although we are dead on board, I believe. Oh, not dead on board, but close enough. Yeah, scrap heaps have just not mattered. So if people start copying Peter's deck and play like Peter, like just born into like this tempo thing in the ice plan, the scrap heaps are not very good. What is this? Fumeral, okay. So we go chump, trade. We don't draw anything that can deal 2 damage, and then we die.